Hello, Dr. Nick here again from Beyond Midnight Consulting. Today I would like to talk to you about insomnia. Just a couple of different forms of insomnia. First up, let's talk about sleep onset insomnia. And that's where a lot of people just can't get to sleep when they want to. And they might often find that it's a fair bit of hit and miss. A lot of people that I talk to or come and see me about a sleep disorder will say to me, look, I'm having trouble getting to sleep. Some nights I can get to sleep easy, other nights it seems to take hours and I can't work it out. My first question is, what time do you wake up? And sometimes I'll say, I don't really have a set wake up time. There's your first problem. If you have a set wake up time, that's great, because when you have a set wake up time, you have a set bedtime. And that circadian rhythm, that real whole body rhythm that is mind and body all together, can really help you get good, healthy sleep every night at the right time. But you've got to know that time. And previously I spoke to you about my Mabbott method of getting to sleep within 5 minutes. And again, that simple formula, your wake up time plus 16 hours and 10 minutes is your perfect timing to get to sleep within about 5 minutes. So rather than going off and seeing GPs and taking pills and doing all these really weird things that some people say you have to do to get to sleep, try and get the timing right first, because when you get the timing right, there is nothing easier than just getting to sleep within 5 minutes. So try that before you try anything else. 16 hours and 10 minutes after you wake up, but have a set wake up time every morning in an effort to give you a set bedtime, of course. Now, the second type of insomnia I'd like to talk about is sleep maintenance insomnia. That does seem to be affecting more people lately, and I guess that's a lot to do with some of the anxieties that we are taking on around the world because of the failing health systems, because of the price of living, and so many other things going on. And what sleep maintenance insomnia is you get to sleep and then partway through the night, you wake up and you'll have trouble getting back to sleep again. And if you can get back to sleep within 5 or 10 minutes, you know what? We don't care. That doesn't matter. And it shouldn't matter to you either, because it's a natural thing to wake up and go back to sleep. Often we'll wake up because we're a little uncomfortable or something like that. Every time the brain gets into rapid eye movement sleep, don't forget, we do a bit of a check on the body to make sure you're comfortable, you've got the right temperature for sleeping, and everything is in its place. If there's something a little out of place, for example, you're too hot or too cold, you will wake up to just momentarily to sort that out. If you've got things going on in your mind, hopefully you'll wake up and you'll just go, okay, quickly write that down, go back to sleep. But if you lay there trying to get back to sleep and you can't, you are actually doing more damage than good by laying there trying to get back to sleep. So I have a bit of a rule, 10-minute rule. If I'm in bed and for some reason I wake up and I can't get back to sleep in 10 minutes, get out of bed and read a boring book. Preferably not anything really exciting. Do not get up and turn on technology, because putting bright light into your brain is going to stimulate you and wake you up even more. You want a dimly lit room, a boring book, and you are best served to read that book until you get tired enough to go back to sleep. What happens if you don't, and I've seen this in many, many situations, is the brain eventually thinks it's okay to lay there and be awake. So don't forget, this is what you are teaching your brain. If you're laying there trying to get back to sleep and you can't, you are teaching your brain that it's okay to lay there awake. It is not okay. Bed is for two things only. One of them I'm not going to talk about on these YouTube clips, but the other one is sleep. And if you're not doing either one of those two things in bed, then I recommend you do not be in bed. Because if you are in bed tossing and turning and not sleeping, the brain develops an association with bed and not sleeping. I've helped many people get through sleep maintenance insomnia prior. Some of these poor people have had serious sleep maintenance insomnia, getting as little as 3 hours sleep for up to 15 years. It's so debilitating and bad for the aging brain and your health and your mental health and everything that goes with it. The same basic instructions is what I use nearly every time, and that is eat right, exercise often, and do not be in bed awake. Get out of bed and read a book until you feel sleepy again, and only then go back to bed. Most people fix this within about 5 weeks. And you know what? You can do this without having to use any form of sleep medication. So it's a cheap, easy, and healthier fix. And it is doable. Don't ever think you can't do it. But as I keep saying, you need the 3 pillars of health: good food, movement, and try and get that 7.5 hours of sleep, which is continuous sleep. And if you wake up and you can't get back to sleep, get out of bed, read a book, don't go back to bed until you feel sleepy enough to go to sleep. And eventually you will retrain your brain that bed is for sleep. All right, so that's me signing off for yet another week. I hope you got some useful tips out of this. And of course, if you need more help, reach out. I will always help you. You have a great week, and I'll speak to you later. Bye.